Alrighty, everyone. Welcome to Giants SC for 2025. I'm your host, Caleb Reedy of the Southside Soldiers, and with me today I've got another former champ. It is Cole Aplin. Cole, how are you, mate? Of Colcanuts?
Oh, not too bad, brother. Uh,
Yeah,
pretty excited, pretty
pretty
excited. Yeah,
excited.
first podcast for me for the year, so let's do it.
Yeah, it's been a while, mate. Obviously, we had a bit of a hiatus last year, but good to see the pod back and a few boys jumping on. And you were a bit of a regular in the past, so good to get you back on, mate. How's the boys?
Yes, I was a regular, and I think that was the decline in my Supercoach team. But now we're back, so let's give it another crack. Boys are doing good, bro. So yeah, young fellas, and I don't have as much time on my hands to fiddle around with this sort of stuff anymore. But we'll see how we go.
Yeah, sweet. Look, let's jump straight in. We had David Martin of Waitaranaki talk about how it was too long last week, so we're just going to get going.
Sweet.
Look, we'll start at Vegas last week. Obviously, Raiders' big win over the Warriors, who were disappointing in not just the scoreboard but in all aspects of Supercoach. And I suppose Penrith and the Sharks played a game that we kind of all expected, Cole.
Yep. I actually tipped the Sharks for some reason. I thought we might have been able to get over them there, but Penrith's still classy as and yeah, the Warriors were pretty disappointing with the Raiders outfit there, and it was good to have the rugby league back anyway.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Obviously, set lots of records, and then the Gillaroos scared away a bunch of viewers with their 90-point shellacking of England, but we're not here to talk about that. Look, we'll start with a couple of the regrets from last week, and I think a lot of people share it when they say Luke Metcalf was an absolute disaster. He ended up scoring 12, and he just did not look comfortable at all. Cole, any thoughts?
Yeah, well, luckily the flex came in this year, I guess, eh? So if we find someone scoring lower than Metcalf, then we've got real issues this week. But yeah, I don't know. The 5'8" position was already a pretty tough one, and I think the majority of super coaches thought that he might be the shining light there, and not a good start. So be interesting to see
Yeah,
how many people hold on to him for this week, and yeah, we'll see.
yeah.
So
Look, I mean, he wasn't really the only one who kind of had a really bad day. Casey McLean from the Panthers obviously didn't have a good one. He got four, and a lot of people had him in as a 400, a middling kind of center wing. And the guy who replaced him in Dane Laurie got 88. So, you know, that kind of hurt a few of our super coaches, mate. Did you have
it's
Dane
a
or
cruel game sometimes, isn't it? No, funny enough, like all preseason, I think Casey McLean was actually one of the first ones I put in my CTW, and yeah, went cold on him, and one good decision that I've made so far, anyway.
yeah, look, I had both of them, so awesome.
Cold.
Uh, well, I'll talk about the guys I did have because obviously it relates to. Obviously, I had the horse, and I think if you were a super coach guy worth your salt, everyone had the horse, and he got 61. And mate, he did
Yep.
look good. He passed the eye test really well.
For 350k, I mean, you're not going to complain with that, eh? He's actually offloading, and then played good minutes too for the big red. So very happy having him in my side as well, brother. So yeah, pretty happy.
Yep, cool. Look, I took the risk and pulled in Zach Hosking as well, who he got downgraded. Actually, he had a try assist get taken off his score, but he still ended up on 57, considering he played 58 minutes or something like that. So I'm not terribly unhappy with how that happened. Um, I also I went with the two big halves in Cleary and Hines.
That's a lot of cash.
Yeah, it's a lot of cash for 118. But look, Cleary got 68, but mate, I do want to have a chat about Hines. It looks like we're in a bit of a changing of the guard here because he was not the guy on the weekend.
Oh well, I mean, against any other team, I think that the Sharks probably would have put on a little bit more than 22 points. And I think every other week, I think that you might be safe. Like Hines will still be involved with those high scoring plays, I still think. But Braden Trindle did look like he was going to sort of grab it by the balls and do it himself. But I think Nico further on down the season will come good, I reckon.
Look, it's a bit worrying that Nico didn't kick goals either. Is that, do you think that'll be a permanent thing, or is he slightly injured, or is Trindle a better goal kicker? I mean, I didn't think Trindle's hit them that well.
No, not at all. I'm not too sure. Maybe there's still a little bit of a tightness in his calf or something, but I'm no fucking physio. So I was actually pretty happy to see him not kicking goals because I don't own him. So I'll see him come down to maybe 500-600 in a couple of, in a month's time, and then I'll pick him up nice and cheap. That'd be great when he gets his cold kicking duties back.
Yeah, so obviously that means you've gone Cleary and Duffy. So
Didn't
you
go
know,
Cleary. Would you believe? Like I've gone a little bit rogue. So yeah, we'll
oh,
see.
we're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to talk a little. You're gonna have to give us a little clue. I know we're mid round, so I have respected Cole's boundaries as a super coacher, and I've not asked him to share his team, but
Yeah,
you can kind of talk a bit of theory about your side a bit later on. Um, Look, the other one I do want to talk about off the weekend, who came through really well, mate. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck in a 73. Yes, it did include a try and a line break. It could have included a couple more if passes had have hit them and or if he had to put the ball down. And he did look good on the wing.
100%. Or do you have like 20, 23, 24 runs or something? That's what we want. We just want them to get in there and do the dirty work, get that base up there, and then capitalize on the end of a few good moves. But we'll take 73 off first game when they pretty much shit the bed anyway. So let's hope that they can improve, and yeah, the scores might end up closer to the hundreds. So good stuff.
We'll talk a couple of big name players now that I don't have. Adam Fanua-Blake, 92, included a try. If it doesn't include the try and the line break, it's 60-ish. I think he was okay without being brilliant.
I mean, yeah, you're paying a lot of money for a big dog up there. But hey, I mean, if he didn't, but he did, right? So
Yeah.
he got a good score. So
If
um,
some butts were
if you,
coconuts, I suppose.
that's right. If you took a flyer on him and paid up front for a big boy like that, I think you're pretty happy with 92.
Yeah, and obviously Isaiah Yeo in the same mold, very expensive, but scored a try, line break, two tackle breaks in the same run, got a 90.
Yeah,
You're not crying over spilt milk there. Dylan Edwards
no.
did what he does and got a 75. Mate, just quickly, Will Kennedy, interesting player, 49. He's probably in a little trouble there.
Oh, who's starting with Will Kennedy? Let's be honest. I don't know what you're up to if you're doing that one. Look, there's some young guns in the wings of the Sharks, and um, yeah, I mean he's reliable as, and you know what you're going to get, but he just doesn't. Wow, I mean, he doesn't seem to have the flair that a lot of the other fullbacks have,
Yeah.
and I mean he's still there, so he's obviously still impressing the coach. And when the young bucks do get a go, then I hope that they grab it with two hands and like set it alight, and then that'll give us some more cheapies to get on too. So that'd be great.
Yep. Last one to talk about, mate. Tamale, the winger from Canberra, 73 on debut. And mate, he looked fucking likely, huh?
Ah, what a beast! Did you have him?
No, because about five of my friends, who are not my friends anymore, told me, "Oh, don't get him. He's not worth it. He's only in for one round." I'm telling you, mate, if he holds a spot over Hopper next week, I'm sending a few bombs in the mail to a couple of my mates.
So I think Savage is suspended, so he's going to
Oh,
have a wing spot. He's going to have a wing spot anyway, so you're going to have to just wait till round 3, right? So when Savage and Hopewadi are both available, and he still has
yeah.
his spot, then yeah, because I'm in the same boat where I was of the opinion that yeah he was say third string winger, and yeah,
Look,
let's hope that he can hold on to it.
he did look good. He looked really good. So, that was a bit disappointing. Yeah, look, let's move into this week, mate.
Mhm.
We're gonna zoom on to the first games of the split round, and obviously we've got a fair bit to talk about, and we'll whip through the games. I'm just bringing them up on the pod so that everyone can follow along with us.
Yep.
Okay. Very technical stuff this is, mate. Beautiful. You
Oh,
can see that.
we're evolving. Look at that.
Okay. Okay, so first game on the Thursday night, Roosters versus Broncos. Look, the Roosters looked poor, so you're a risky man if you're looking at Tedesco, who's the most expensive player in the game. We'll start with the Roosters, mate. Souljahs comes in for Nat Butcher, and Nafahu White starts. Obviously, Connor Watson's in there. Everyone's looking at Sandon Smith. Talk to me about a couple of players you like from them.
Well, I mean, I've got Sandon Smith, but it just feels horrible owning him. I'm not even playing him this week, to be fair. Yeah, it's, shit. He might even move, to be honest with you. Like, yeah, I'm not confident in him at all. But hopefully, if I do keep him, that he just makes a little bit of money, and then we get rid of him a bit later on. I don't. So interesting enough, like I've got a pretty big decision to make in this by Thursday night. I've just realised now that I'm humming and hawing about Connor Watson now. I'm an owner at the moment, and if I choose to move him, it would be for someone like Selwyn Cobbo, which could be a big play. Which yeah, sort of contemplating that
Mate,
at the moment.
yeah, I like that. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, look, I think Nafahu White and Saw Wong are a bit trappy. Um,
Yeah,
uh, I, d- I don't like Connor Watson. I know a couple of people in the chat love him. The Roosters scare me. And outside of Robert Toyer and Sandon Smith, who are bottom dollar, and I'm the same as you, Sandon Smith, it might be on his way out for me because I'm thinking that Mamazolis from South is now probably a bit more appreciative for me. Got a bit
yeah,
higher ceiling in terms of the team, but yeah, I feel sorry for Tedesco because the dude's a weapon. But you look over, we switch over to the Broncos, mate, and mate, there's some interesting ones. I think Shibasaki is on everyone's radar now with all the chat. And Reece Walsh and Ben Hunt in particular are very interesting considering, what Hines did and didn't do. And
yep.
obviously Corey Pakes.
Yeah, well, Corey Pakes is another interesting one as well. Like that cheapy hooker role is a bit of a minefield. Like you could pick any one of say three or four of them, and yeah, if you're lucky enough, then you get the right one and it turns to gold. But if you're not lucky, then it all just turns to shit, and then you're sort of stuck with him. Corey Pakes looks good, but you got Moser in the wings. I actually had Moser all preseason until he got injured. So yeah, between him, Moser, and then you got Billy Walters as well. Like, how's all the minutes going to unfold there? Um, yeah, look, someone that's I'm just not going to go anywhere near the Goz. I think I've had him before, maybe 3 or 4 times over the last 3 or 4 years. But
Yeah, I think
no, good
it
luck
was either
to
Ricky,
yeah.
or John Gleese said Goz is in his never again list. So
Yeah, I'd get on board with that one too. Yeah. But
um,
Shibasaki though, he's in a good back line. Let's put it that way. So he might be able to jag the old attacking stat here and prove people wrong or prove people right. I'm not a current owner, so
yep.
we'll see how he goes.
And Kobe Heavington, yes or no?
Well, I have him, so let's hope yes.
Pleasant, yes. Cool.
Mm.
Look, we're moving on to the Tigers. Mate, I've
Mm-hmm.
got Adam Dewey. I like the look of him. I kind of want to turn him into Lachlan Galvin, who I'm really hot on, who looks like a super coach animal to me. Outside of that, everyone I think's got Terrell May based on what he did at the Roosters last year. Um, Talk to me about Alex Seyfarth.
Well, I'm a non-owner at the moment, but if I do make some moves, then I probably would be moving Hetherington to Seyfarth myself. Um, yeah, look, just I need to see what the Tigers are going to dish out with the new halves pairing and everything. I like your chat about Dewey. He was one of my first picked as well preseason, but he managed to find himself on the way out. But he could be quite easily brought in for Metcalf if he looks good the following week. So, yeah, are you having a crack with Seyfarth, are you? Or?
Yeah, I don't have him at the moment. I can't afford him, actually. I'd like to go to him from Kobe Hetherington, same as you.
Yeah,
But I'm spending some money in some areas to try and chase some points. So we'll see how we go. Yeah, that's a big shout out to you, Jason Boone, all the babies. Big master plan over here. Um, Look, for the Knights, Kalen Ponga, uh, Dan Gagai's proven he's got what it takes, but I don't think a lot of people are taking the risk with him. What do you think about Fletcher Sharp in the 6?
exciting, really exciting. I already have a few too many Knights, maybe. So yeah, I won't be touching him at the moment. But look, if he was 100k cheaper, I think you'd find that a lot of people would own him. But yeah, he starts off, what was it, 600, over 600, I think. So if you're brave,
Yeah.
have a crack. But I'm not that brave.
Yeah, look, Dylan Lucas obviously is a fan favorite, second row with a high work rate and can available at centre wing. He's one of
Yeah,
the ones you'd have.
yeah, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I mean, the one issue that we have with Dylan Lucas is always the fact that every time a centre goes down, he gets pushed there. And Bradman Best and Dane Gagai love an injury.
Oh yeah. Let's hope that Bradman Best stays fit because I think New South Wales are actually quite a strong outfit when he was there. He played really well.
Yep. Yep. No, cool, cool, cool. Mate, move on. Let's look at Souths and the Dolphins. Um, Mate, the game got a little more interesting. No Nicarima, Nichols or Bromwich. But Dolphins, they scream a bit of points over here with the hammer, Herbie. I mean, Isaiah Katoa is another year older. Jeremy Marshall King is one of the few real hooker options that cost money. And then obviously these three at the back, Funi Fuyaki, Plath, and Gilbert, represent a lot of what people consider to be value in points. Do you like the Dolphins players?
I had Tom Gilbert pre-season, and then I just decided that after people coming back from injury, you sort of just need to wait and see a little bit and see what they are. After coming back from it. But the likes of Max Plath, like, yeah, I mean, shit, has anyone seen him on the edge? Like, he was really good in the middle. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he go on the edge. But he's not exactly cheap to take a bit of a punt on. And then you got your cheapie and Fini Fuyaki, who I owned last year. He's a bit hot and cold, but could be anything, I guess.
Yeah.
But you look at their bench and you got Limu, who was there, who was on the edge for them last year, and he's been pushed back. So do they
Mate,
share minutes?
you're
See.
doing good with all these Polynesian pronunciations, bro. You're doing a great job. Doing a great
Oh
job. Pete
god.
will be jealous from last week. Very jealous.
Oh shit.
Look, we look at Souths, mate, very quickly. They've gone from an interesting team who with Supercoach potential, to a team you're kind of a bit wary of. You know, no Latrell, no AJ. Um, Cody Walker's just back from injury. No Cameron Murray. They don't scream Supercoach team anymore, do they?
Look, like you said, pre-season, I think I had Campbell Graham, I had Mamazulis in there, and I had Latrell. And then all of a sudden you lose two of your big guns in the team, and you do feel like their team might suffer. So, I mean, Wayne Bennett, he's a master stroke, so we'll see what he can dish up. But I do like your idea of going from Sander Smith up to Mamazulis because what's that, like 80k or something like that? Like,
Yeah.
might be able to make that work.
Look,
Yeah, but
and Mamazolis's PPM is around 1. So when he plays the full game, he looks like he do pretty well. He had 2 80-minute games last year, or sorry, 60+ minute games, and he got a 1 point average. So he scored 60 and 70 something. Um, Obviously the danger is they've got Sullivan and Havili on the bench, so they got to go somewhere. And you know what? People don't replace halves. Here's the big
Yeah.
one for you, mate. Is
Mm.
Hubner a trap?
I hope not. um, I'm taking a punt on him, so we will see, I guess. Yeah, well, it's all about the minutes for everybody, isn't it? I was of the opinion that Tallis Duncan would probably jag a spot there, but for some reason he's still on the bench, and they've gone this young fella above him, so must be up to scratch. And Wayne Bennett knows everything, right? So let's hope
Well,
let's hope that we can make some money off him.
man, I've had this conversation a couple of times. What does Tallis Duncan have to do to get into this team? Because I feel like every time he plays, he looks good. So either he's
Yeah,
sleeping with the coach's daughter, or I don't know what's happening. But the poor kid can't get a run. And you know, from what I saw of Lachlan Hubner in the trials, I'm not that impressed by him.
no, he looks pretty boring, doesn't he? But just tackle everything and just make some. Hopefully, he gets what 40, 40s, 45, 50 or something like that. If we're lucky, make some money, and then we can trade him up.
Yeah, just score a try, bro. Just score a couple of tries.
Yeah, yeah, easy. Jagus, couple 70s, beauty.
Moving on. Look, the Dragons versus Bulldogs. It's not as an enticing game as I think it could be. I looked at the sides earlier today. I don't have any Dragons. You know, I'm not interested in them at the moment. Emre Gul is an interesting one for me. And he might get a late pull in because he's starting, but obviously, you know, minutes is a problem with their bench rotation, and we all know what you know, the big Flanagan's like, and he likes to rotate his forwards through. Do you think Gould is an option?
He's, you know, he's enticing just because he's coming from the Raiders pack, and you're sort of hoping that he might be able to get a few more minutes there. And no, I mean, I don't have him. I don't think I'm pretty happy with the Horsburgh who I had in my front row, and it's around the same price mark. So I think if you didn't grab the horse and you're trying to now scramble to grab someone like Gula, I think you might have a little bit of regret.
Yep, mate. Just the other obviously Dragons that you kind of think about. Gutherson might be worth it around Origin. Jack DeBellin's back at lock, so if he plays 80, he's got pedigree. Do you have any other Dragons that you kind of like? Maybe Holmes?
Yeah, Holmes, but he's just so expensive. So it's a lot of money to fork out at the beginning of the year. Obviously, you're trying to work your way towards these sorts of players. But yeah, no, not really. No other players are really on my radar from that outfit.
Well, look, we move over to the Bulldogs, and because they have the Dragons, that makes Matt Burton a little interesting, but the Bulldogs were not impressive in the preseason.
No, and I think the Dragons will still be a good outfit too. I think they'll be pretty strong defensively, to be honest with you, especially early doors. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, I was sort of I was in the same sort of boat as most people, probably jumping on Keres like he's a weapon. But when he went
Yep.
down, it was a bit unfortunate. So I currently don't own a Bulldog. So there we
No,
go.
look, I've there's a couple of rules in Supercoach that you always look at, and fullbacks that play in the center wing are one of them.
Yeah.
Connor Tracy's one of those. Obviously, he can't be trusted because the Bulldogs don't really play that set style that a lot of clubs play with their fullbacks. Um, and obviously, you can't really price yourself into a guy like Stephen Crichton or Bronson Xerri because they're not bottom dollars and they're not out and out guns. So it don't really make sense.
No, and
Um,
you sort of don't anticipate the Bulldogs tearing teams apart every other week, you know. So yeah, I don't know. They're not cheap enough to jump on, and like you said, yep, I sort of agree with you there. They're a little bit more expensive, and their output you might jag one high score in 6 or 7 games or something. That, in my opinion.
well, look, let's rush through the rest here.
Mm-hmm.
Turbo's got to be in everyone's team as far as I'm concerned. Should be 100% ownership.
Surely, surely,
He's got, I think, 5 out of his first 7 games at home. They've got a really nice draw. Um,
they got some
yeah,
shit team next week too.
yeah. Yeah, let's not talk about that, okay? Come on, mate. Um, Obviously, because of that, Tom's big. Daly looks good. Lehigh Hopewadi was very impressive on the wing last year, and he's on the left-hand side, which makes it even more enticing now that Saab's definitely in. Ruben
Yep.
Garrick is always an option because of his work rate and goal kicking. And then Ola Kawatu is the guy. Um, Outside of those guys, does anybody from the Seagulls really do you get interested in a guy like Tokiaho or Tavanga?
I did when I did see Togiaho was available again back in the NRL. I was like, oh, yep, sweet, I'll jump on board. But he's sort of quite dear for what I was expecting. So, um, yeah, no, I'm not jumping on him, unfortunately. Jazz Tavanga, he's a bit of a spot fill at the moment until Croker's back. So he's in the void. And I just, I've got a few Eagles, Sea Eagles, so let's just hope they do all right this year.
Yeah, that makes it a little interesting. Look, I think the Cowboys have got some value about them. I don't particularly like them for classic Supercoach. So I think Scott Drinkwater is a great pickup in the draft, if that makes sense. But in classic,
Yep.
he's just as expensive as Turbo, as Ponga, and they seem a little more likely to me. What's your thoughts on the Drinky?
Yeah, no, well, you've hit the nail on the head, really. Um, you're not going to use up one of your fullback spots for Drinkwater over the likes of Ponga or if Latrell was fit, or obviously Turbo, who everyone should own. Um, yeah, I mean, he might be a player that you bring in during the year where they've got like a hot run of say 3 or 4 games, and your other mainstream fullback might have a couple of tough games or might be out for Origin or something like that. So, I mean, he's an option at that sort of thing, but I don't think you would want to be starting with him.
Yep. Obviously, Tom Duffy's in, and in the chat, we've heard that his parents have been flown down. Thank you for that, boys, for those news. So he's in, and bottom dollar. He's a watch for mine, mate. I don't have him. But
Well,
look,
obviously, because you're money bags and and spent big dollars up front, so
yeah, we're gonna
you
have a look at my
you
team in a second, and you're gonna get very impressed.
will I? Okay, I wasn't that impressed when I saw it last time.
No, you're gonna be very shocked, actually.
Oh, okay, shock. Yeah, we'll go with shock value. Look, I've got Tom Duffy, and it's just a fingers crossed, isn't it? Let's hope he goes well for the people that have jumped on board.
Yep. Look, I've got out of the Cowboys as well. I've taken the punt on Bateman. He's got pedigree. I know he's had his injury problems, and the Tigers were rubbish last year, but I just think he's an 80-minute back row who can get shit done. Mate, he makes a lot of sense to me. So yeah,
Can't
Bateman
really
is
argue with you. I had him preseason, but for some reason he's worked his way out of my team. But yeah, I hope he goes well for you.
yeah, cool. And the last game of the weekend is the Storm, who take on the Eels at home. Storm never lost at home, and they are as healthy as they're ever gonna be. Pappy, Munster, Hughes, Grant, Katoa,
Yeah,
Meany, Warbrick. If you've
it's a
got
hell of a
Uto
team.
in your team, like there's a lot of guys there that people could make cases for, and you can't really argue with that. Do you have any issues? People you would definitely stay away from in the Storm out of their guns?
Oh, no, I can't. They've got the buy next week. That's the only little issue. So you can't really afford to have, say, 2 or 3 of them of the big guns. I don't think. But if you own 1 or 2, then yeah, sure, you can survive that following week.
Yep.
Um, Myself, I've only got the one of them, and yeah, I hope they go well. That's for sure. But
Yeah.
I'd love to have Elias Katoa or something like that. But I just haven't spent that much money in the 2RF. Like I've got the one gun in there, and I couldn't really justify squeezing 2 in there at the moment.
Yeah. Look, I think Katoa's a great shout, and Hughes inside him. So they're the two that I really like. They also play for New Zealand. So, when Origin comes around, obviously the outlier in this that we're talking about is I've said it last week that the hooking position is horrible this year. So if you take the punt with Grant, he is set and forget. And
Absolutely.
you just don't talk about him after that. You just move on. So
Safe.
obviously after, well, probably towards game 3 in Origin, I'll be getting Grant in and just forgetting about it. But I don't have him now because I've got shit hookers. Um,
That's it. We need to make money,
last
mate. So we can't start with all the goodies. We gotta find some money somewhere and upgrade along the way. So
last team to talk about,
yep,
Isaiah Iyongi. You got him? Yes,
100%.
no,
Yep,
100%,
yep.
100%,
Got to give it 100%. Got to have a crack.
100%. He reckons. Okay. Um, Lomax not as a center. Don't like him.
No, it'll be interesting to see. Like if he's able to roam and yeah, well, time will tell. Time will tell. But yeah, he's a lot of
Uh,
money to pay up front for a center.
Probably the two allies in this team for me, mate, is the guy Dylan Brown is a gun at 6, has been for years. Doesn't really want to step into that superstar territory though. Is he on the radar? Do you have him? Do you want him?
Had up until just recently, and could go back to him. There's a flip of a coin between him and Munster for me at the moment, and I've just settled on Munster for this 5 minutes of what we're doing. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see how we end up. But yeah, obviously they're both great players. Um, yeah, Dylan Brown is another positive for him being a Kiwi, is also not going to be sucked into the Origin machine. Sorry, so yeah,
Yeah.
of course he's
Mate,
there.
the other one I really like from Para is Jermaine Hopgood. If he can get going, he's 100-point player every day of the week.
Yep, and he's starting at a bit of a discount too, so he's not premium dollar for him. I mean, he's still pretty dear, but you're not up in the Angus Crichton territories for him. So he's a good shout. I kind of wish I could afford him, but at the moment,
Cool. Look, we're going to have a look at my team. And yep, I'm going to give my opponent, the $1 billion babies, a bit of an insight into what we've got. But this is not set in
just
stone.
a disclaimer. Yep, Caleb told me pre this that he'd changed a heap of players around and he's playing silly buggers.
Okay, so we'll start at the top. At the moment, I've got Mamazolas and I've got Smith, but that may turn into Pakes. So I wouldn't be holding my breath on that one. Or
he's
either
not.
could turn into Pakes.
He's never a play anyway, is he, Sanders Smith? He's just a
No.
money making thing. So yeah.
I have Gula and I've got Terrell May and Horsburgh. This,
Mhm.
I'll talk about this enough in a second.
Mhm.
Bateman, Hosking, Gilbert, Hetherington, Gosowski, Hubner. So very, very cheap back row. Bateman's my most expensive back row.
Yeah.
This is where all the money's been spent. Cleary, Hines, Metcalf with his great 12,
Yep.
Huey, who is at a bit of a discount if he does what he used to do.
He's
Casey,
definitely a big watch for me for sure.
we've got Casey
Casey
McLean with a
McLean.
wonderful 4. I've
Oh
got
baby.
Ruben. I've got Ruben Garrick, and Ruben's one of those guys where if I think you have Turbo, you should have Ruben. I think they go together. It's a weird
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
Roger Jackson Purdue, who I think is going to pop up in, let's say, 50% of the teams in Supercoach.
I think so.
I've got Shibasaki, who, whether he's in the team or not, when old mate's back, I don't really care. Toya, who he missed 7 tackles the other week, but he's bottom dollar, so he's got to be in there. And I've got Jake Tungor, who has won a wing spot at the Eels. So, yeah, that's my
Are
centre
we?
wings, mate.
Is there a Eels? Oh, it's Addo Carr, isn't it?
It is.
It is
It is
Addo Carr that's
Adokar.
missing at the moment. How long's he out for?
Hopefully, he's on a cocaine bender as we speak and won't be back for many, many weeks.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see that you've done your research and that's why you're picking up Tago. So, yep,
Yeah, look,
cool. No,
he's just bottom. He's just very cheap at the moment, mate. So that's all that is. And I missed out on Tamale, so I kicked myself for that one. And
well,
here
here's
is
the
where it
money.
gets interesting.
Okay, here we go. Oof. You reckon you spent fucking hell, mate? No wonder you got no money in your 2RF.
So I've gone
That is
Turbo,
that is
Ponga, and Walsh right now. And basically, it is the desperation of Casey McLean getting 4 that has forced me into this.
yep.
Um, I do have a theory around it all, and it's basically that if any of them go off and one doesn't, in 3 weeks, I can go from Walsh to Iongi or Duffy.
Yep.
But if one of them goes off and I don't have it, it's hard to find a spot for them.
I like your logic because you've already got all the money spent there, and then if, like you're saying, when you do go to downgrade, then you're going to free up a hell of a lot of cash. It's just the interim where it'll be interesting to see your
Yeah.
cheapies can make enough money,
Look,
get enough points to get you through a couple of wins. So
but based on what happened on the weekend, it's scaring me a little bit because the gun forwards
imagine,
did what
Kate,
they well, the gun forwards did what they did. Adam Finau Blake, Isaiah Yo, mate, they got 90. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's like my theory about these fullbacks and centers are better is not actually true. The only center wing that went off his head on the weekend was Xavier Savage.
Well, it's a small sample size, right? So it's only 2 games, and they were playing on a smaller field. So take it what you will. I believe that. Well, I'm hopeful that the outside backs might come good this weekend, and yeah, but in early rounds, like everyone's defense should be pretty good, right? So that's why I didn't go with Cleary or Nico Hines, because I thought that their their averages were set pretty high, and that hopefully they can just get a couple of low scores and bring them down a little bit and get them for a bit of a discount.
Yep. No, I'm with you, mate. And obviously, mate, you were right. They were
Well, not.
let's let's call
We'll
it
see. That
average.
yeah, but hey, that might still be, like pretty good scores for halfbacks. We don't know yet. So
May I ask who you're looking at in terms of halfbacks? Or is that giving away a little too much?
yeah, so starting halfbacks, Duffy. No,
Yeah.
no,
Look,
yeah,
obviously, if I put my hat on, you don't have to say, but that means you're looking at guys like Bailey Cherry Evans. Obviously, Ben Hunt becomes interesting. Um, Duffy is bottom dollar, so that would make sense. But
he's
then
not my starting.
yeah,
Duffy's there, don't you worry. But he's not a starting. He's the NPR at the moment. We are
yeah,
waiting to see on him. He's there to make money, hopefully. No, fuck it, it's all good. I've gone DCE, so we'll see how we go.
yeah. I mean, with the Manly start at home and their ease of draw, it makes a lot of sense. I did have him in my side for a while. The issue I have with Daly Cherry Evans is he's not one of those that scores particularly well when Turbo goes off
Not all the
because
time,
yeah,
but yeah,
that
I have
it's
seen
just
them. I have seen them link up like pretty well in the past,
yeah,
but we'll see. Yeah,
yeah. So it's a bit of an annoying thing for me that you'll get Daly Cherry Evans will put the ball on Turbo's chest and Turbo will just catch and pass to the winger. Turbo gets a
yeah.
try assist, line break assist, and Daly Cherry Evans gets try contribution.
Well, that's why you have both of them.
uh,
Yeah. No, I'm taking a fly. Hopefully, so yeah, like I said, I was hoping for the two gun halfbacks to drop in dollar a little bit, and hopefully I can bridge a gap and make some money, and then fill that trade. And yeah,
yeah.
and plus I had Cleary on my team pretty much for the whole 26 rounds last year, and he's probably going to get injured for all the rest of the year. We'll
Said
see.
done and blame
We'll see.
himself. So you're blaming Cleary for your poor season last year.
I don't know how you say poor. I think I still finished like ninth or 10th, and I was one win out of the 8. I just left my
Well, you
run a
didn't
little bit
finish
late.
ninth, mate, because that belonged to Yours truly, Southside Soldiers, who came home on the back of 7 straight wins and did not make the finals. So
We left our run too late, brother.
we did. We definitely did.
So we need to jag some early wins because I think we're end game players. But look, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a good year. I'm
It is
pretty
going to be a good
excited.
year.
There's a bloody hell of a lot of people in our comp now, so let's
Oh,
go.
mate, 100 players. Who do you like, before we let you go, who do you like to take out the comp besides yourself in Premiership, mate, in first grade?
Mm, Jesus. Nah, I'm not giving anyone any good oil there. Nah, good luck to the rest of you. I'm not
Not
backing
Will.
anyone. As
Not
soon
Will,
as
though, right? Not Will.
oh nah, look, hey, if it's not me, then I wouldn't mind Will. Come on, he needs to get on the board.
Mate, he
I'll
finally
let
made
him
the
have that
finals
one.
last year, so he's in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, but he's good. He's good for a choke. So that's
Oh,
about
mate,
as
he
good as you'll get.
loves a mid-table finish, old Will.
Yeah.
All right. Last thing, mate. Supercoach start of the week. Who's the captain choice? Who's the guy? Um,
Well, for me, it's Tommy Turbo. But I mean, with your three gun fullbacks there, you could fucking flip a coin and see which one lands for you, mate. Like, I think Walsh could do a number. Excuse me, on the Roosters.
yeah, he's obviously the game's a bit early in the week, which is scary.
Oh.
Um, do you want to whack the captaincy on Walsh on Thursday night? Mate, stop swallowing
No,
water into your lungs, for God's sake.
oh, yeah, choking on it. Look,
Mate, this would be great. Man dies on podcast for Supercoach.
yeah, it's really got a bit of a tickle, hasn't it? Oh shit! Hang on.
There you have it, guys. Cole Aplin is about to die, choking on water in the Giant Supercoach chat. Look, while
Jesus.
Cole's fixing himself up, I
Oh
think
my god.
I think Turbo's makes the most sense as the captain. You know, they've got a really easy drawn game. You know, for this week, it's late in the week. They take on the Cowboys at home, which their record is fantastic. And while the Cowboys are a pretty hot attacking side, they're not known for their D. So I think that's a fair shout. I actually think that a really good captaincy choice for the week. Um, well, it's kind of a left field one, and I don't have him, so I can say this with as much flaunting as I can. I think Jeremy Marshall King is a fair shout as a captaincy at the Dolphins, and it's all because the South's forward pack is horrific. So I think they can really make some inroads with Kolfusi and Saifidi, who is brand new. So I think there'll be a couple of try assists in the off for JMK. But I'm the same as you, mate. I think Walsh, Ponga, they're good shouts. I think if you've got Lachlan, Galvin, I think that the Tigers are made for points this year. So yeah, look, who is your Supercoach dud for the week? A guy who people probably will have, or is a known gun who won't get anything.
Oh, Jesus. Look, I actually, in all fairness, when I was running through the run sheet, I stopped before the stud and the dud. So um, let's go with you go your one, and then I'll come back to you on that one.
Yeah, look, my dud for the week for Supercoach is Jerome Luai. So I know a few people that got him, and they're looking at him, and yep, he's a premiership winner from Penrith, and it's not like his games haven't been great. When he hasn't had Cleary around him, he's still averaging fairly decently. I actually have this feeling that he's not going to be the guy at the Tigers. I have this feeling that Galvin's going to be the one. Luai tends to run and dummy. Um, and like I really like Galvin to really lead the show there. So I've got Luai getting 30 and getting a lot of coaches really upset.
Yep, that fair shout too. I had Luai in there pre-season just as a bit of a speculative one, but um, until we see what the Tigers are going to throw up, we have no idea. I'm going to go with, say, Kalma Tuolangi. Is that a fair one? Like, I
Hey,
think
that's
that he's in a lot of teams, I reckon, and I think he burnt me last year or the year before, so fuck him, he's a dud.
well, Kelma Tuilagi is a bit of an interesting one because people have been talking about him a little bit. Because he did average fairly decently last year. He was horrible the year before. That's when he was at the Tigers. But he went
Right, okay.
to Para last year and he was okay. But I don't like him because Para, they don't look that good. And in the trials, they were poor. I don't like Brendan Hands. Moses is not there. And let's be
Yep.
honest, mate, Dylan Brown's on his way out.
Yeah, he's going to go and get a big bag from someone else, isn't he?
So I actually hate Para and anything to do with him. So I'm with you.
And
Kalma Tuilagi in the bin. Probably concussed first 5 minutes, courtesy
whoa,
of
well,
Colcanuts.
you're welcome to everyone that owns him. He's
Alrighty.
probably going to get ton up now, so yeah, no.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it happens. I remember the year I tipped that Reece Walsh was going to do nothing at the Broncos. Year one, and I think he averaged 90 for the year or some shit. Yeah, that was a great tip, Caleb.
Well, when you put yourself out there, mate, that's what happens, isn't it?
That's it. Anyway, that's us. Giant Supercoach, second podcast, for the split round for round one. Thank you very much, Cole Aplin, for taking time tonight. I know you've got some young kids, and I really appreciate you coming on and giving your views, and good luck for the round.
No, thank you, brother, and yeah, let's go. Eh? Let's see if we can make top 8 this year, bro. We are redemption stories.
Yeah, well, we could repeat, we could be those champs that get in there. As long as we don't get demoted, it seems to be the common theme.
Yeah. No, we've weeded out the one that we needed to get rid of in Damo, so the comp sort of got a bit more what's the word that I'm looking for? Credibility again
Legitimacy.
now. So yeah,
Yeah.
legitimacy. Yeah, let's go with that one. So no, it's gonna be good. And yeah, probably like what to the new boys in the comp. Yeah, good luck,
Yeah.
boys. Let's get it.
All right. Thank you very much, Cole. I'll speak to you later, brother.
Sweet, bro. Thank you.